Yes, people, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. As always, make sure that you lot are smash up the lights. Make sure that you lot are subbing to the channel. Make sure that you're subbing to all of Mel's socials, as we spoke about before when she was last on the channel. And I'm really looking forward to today, people, man. Because the last time that she was on here was going through a little bit of turmoil with Maresca. You know, we spoke about where do we go from here, and everything was really doom and gloom. But, you know, she's come back where, you know, apart from the Arsenal games, Chelsea have started to pick it up again. And obviously, I want to really get her thoughts on Rosenior, because a lot of the players are coming out at the moment talking about, you know, how much they're enjoying playing with him now, and they're really enjoying his management. So we'll get her thoughts on that. But big up everyone that's here already. Got over 20 people here. But before I go through the chat, what's happening, Mel, man? You good? We just had a quick catch up backstage, but you're right.
Oh, I'm great. I'm fantastic. I was telling you, like your British viewers will finally get to see the sun. The sun's out. It's 8 o'clock over here. So, yeah, all good, all great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, man. Apart from the rain, it's been raining pretty much every day here. You know what I mean? It's a bit peak.
I saw a tweet that was like, it has rained every single day in the UK in 2026.
I think it's true, you know. I think it's true. Literally every day, something's going on. I haven't been able to wash my car because when you wash your car in the rain, it just messes it up. It's a bit pointless.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But big up everyone here anyway. TTM, as he says, make sure that you lot are hitting up the lights. Make sure that you lot are checking out Jersey FC Soccer Shop. As always, people, Don CFC for 20% off at checkout. All the tops that you can see right there in front of you, they're all on there. But again, if you're not a Chelsea fan, still check them out because they've got other teams on there as well. But Mel, how are you feeling right now about Chelsea before we even talk about the game last night? You know, how's your feeling for Maresca, for Rosenior so far even?
Yeah, so if your viewers remember, the last time you and I spoke was on New Year's Eve, which is like we spoke and I said some things and then literally everything happened within 24 hours. I was
yeah, you're right. And it was New Year's Eve, innit? Oh yes. Because he left on the 1st, innit?
He left on the 1st, but I remember driving to like the New Year's thing that I was going to and just like scrolling because every 15 minutes something was like coming out, some like club briefing or briefing from him, Maresca was coming out, and I was like, this is a lot. And then of course I wake up and he's been sacked, or very still unclear what happened there, actually. I don't know if it was a sacking or if it was a resignation. I want to think it's a resignation, but in terms of Rosenior, for the first like maybe 2-3 weeks, I was so in denial because I really liked Maresca. I was very upset about how that happened and honestly why it happened, because it was so avoidable, like truly so avoidable. And I think you'll agree with me on this. I just hate anything so pointless that destabilizes the club, because we've seen so much instability over the last 3-4 years, ever since the sanctions and everything. It just feels like it's one wave after another of nonsense. And my first thought as a fan is like, this is just annoying for me to have to hear about. I can't imagine what it's like being those players, and every like couple of months there is something just like catastrophic in the news about the club. And it, you know, it unsettles you. It's like in your workplace when things are just constantly changing, you're like so annoyed. But at first I was very I was just upset. Like I didn't want to think about it. I was like, I just need to focus on myself. And then when I started to watch, I was like, oh, this guy has some, like, has something about him, the new manager, Liam. And I will say, as the more I've been watching, the more I kind of realize, like, I don't think the Maresca sacking was in earnest at all, but I understand like why Rosenior is better in some aspects. It's only been like 6 weeks. But his rotation has been like so good. His in-game management has been even better. And I like the Leeds match pissed me off so bad because he coached a 4-0. Like, I hate saying that stuff, but he genuinely coached such a good match. And actually the thing I love the most about him is he knows how to call out the nonsense that happens in these matches without like attacking the players. Like I know people, Arsenal fans, will say about Arteta, like if we don't play well, one player is getting thrown under the bus, and it's always Martinelli, something like that. And
Mhm.
what I like about Rosenior is like he can call out the fact that we should have won that match if not for 2 moments of just pure head loss. Like it was 6
Yeah.
minutes that lost us those points, but everything else was perfect. And I like the fact that there's briefings now of like him calling in, I don't want to say emergency meetings, but like meetings to be like,
Mhm.
why are you guys doing like what is happening that you are losing concentration this badly to
100%.
points? Because you
Yeah.
know the stat, Don,
Mhm.
15 or 17 points dropped from winning positions.
That's
Add half of those,
ridiculous.
add half of those points back. Tell me where we're at in the table.
We're literally right in the title race. We're literally right up there. You
Right.
know what I mean?
So
So
not even all of
let's
those
go on.
points, just give me half of them back, and
Mhm.
we are with the best Arsenal team in the world. Like, please.
Facts, facts. You're speaking so much facts because even going back to the time with Poch, right? What really annoyed me about that guy was that the players would mess about in games and that they'll mess about, and he'd always come out and defend them. He'd always
Yes.
find a way to spin it and like gaslight what I'm watching. And I'm like, can we please come out and just be honest and have a backbone? Because
Mhm.
football, I'm sorry, football is a brutal, honest game. You have to just be really black and white at times about certain things, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, the whole game overall isn't black and white, but certain things like the other day, Caicedo, the decision making, it's black and white that you don't dive in there. Yeah,
No. You're
it's black and white that you don't fucking wait for the ref to blow his whistle. You just clear the ball. You
clear
know
the
what I'm saying?
ball.
These are the things that you've got to be doing. So I'm so happy that he's actually having these consistent meetings. I spoke about this the other day in my review actually yesterday. I'm glad that he's doing this because this needs to be constant drilling in these guys' head. They need to know that
Mhm.
if I fuck about here, we're gonna get called in for another meeting. I can't be asked for another meeting
Mhm.
to be
Yeah.
getting shown videos of me messing about. Yeah. Because listen at work, no one likes being called into bare meetings at work because you're messing about. No one likes these things. Yeah. So you got to think about these things in your everyday life as well. You know what I'm saying? That the less mistakes you're making, the less meetings you're going to be having about your fuckeries. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
as simple as that, Mel. It's as
It
simple as
is.
that.
It
So I'm
is.
glad that you mentioned it. But in terms of like just how it's been sort of profiling the team for you, right? You kind of mentioned that you kind of get, you're kind of looking at how now Maresca kind of, wasn't really getting the best out of the squad. I'm not putting words in your mouth, but it sounds like that's what you're saying
Yeah,
to me.
for sure.
What would you say Rosenior's been able to do? Like, how is he able to get the best out of the players so far?
I don't even know what actually, I think I know. Um, One of my biggest pet peeves recently is that the new age managers love to overcoach their players, and I don't think he's doing that. Like, I mean, I'm not at Cobham, so I don't know, but it
Mhm.
just feels like Cole when he comes back and he's playing, and obviously he's been dealing with the injury, so that's hindering him a lot, but, like, he's playing sort of like the Cole before the injury, where he can just take the ball and run, and maybe that's more Rosenior, or, you know, I just think Maresca was a little bit more like, this is the structure. You have to play within the structure. If you don't play within the structure, I'm going to be very mad. But it's like you can't overcoach them. You just have to let your players play, especially your creative players. Um, and another thing that I like that Rosenior has been doing is the inclusion of Andre Santos. Like I tweeted it out the other day. I was like, I think it was the Leeds match. I was like, okay, I love Maresca, and I went through like the 5 stages of grief or whatever, but like looking at Andre Santos, why was he not used more? I'm so confused. And that's, I think, something that, new manager just being in there is like, okay, everyone gets a fair shot. No one's a favorite.
Mhm.
And I think Andre Santos has really taken this by the horns and been like, I'm okay, I don't get many chances. I'm going to take my chance. And he absolutely took it. And I love that, especially for like a Caicedo who everybody is injured that could cover for him. And I know they're not exactly the same, but like them in a pivot is just so beautifully complementary. And even like yesterday, when we play in like the FA Cup and the Carabao and it's against a non-prem team, I find it very hard to like glean anything sort of substantial. But he was fantastic yesterday. Like he was
Mhm.
so good yesterday.
Mhm.
Um, And so it's just stuff like that. I think he's using the squad a little bit more smartly. I don't think he's as stubborn as Maresca. That was a big thing that Leicester fans told us about when we got
Yep.
him. But yeah, and I think something that's also helped is just Cole is back, and the only person who has missed Cole more than us is Jean Pedro.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, people, we're not making this a session where we're trying to just talk shit about Maresca. We're just saying it as it is. We're literally saying it as it is. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry, then maybe just go watch something else, which is gonna be all nicey about my man. But let's be honest, Mel, like, listen, for me, how I've kind of looked at Maresca now, yeah, I've come to the conclusion, because Fabrizio put out more news about Maresca being one of the main candidates to take over at Man City. I think that's the sort of environment that he needs to be in. Yeah. He needs to be in an environment where whatever he wants, he gets. Because when he doesn't, yeah, eventually he'll get to the point where there's so many players on the bench who aren't going to get trusted. There's going to be so many players that he doesn't even want to look at when he's walking down the corridor, bro. You know what I mean? Just get out of my face. Don't come nowhere near me. You know what I'm saying? Because I have seen this guy do this now, 3 years on the bounce with different sets of players, right? He did this at Leicester. I was told by a Leicester fan that at Leicester, he had a core play, like 13, 14 players he really liked. The rest of them just got thrown to the side. He done this last season with Vega, with Felix, with Nkuku, you know what I'm saying? And then this season, again, different sets of players, Hato, Santos, Josh. These got the same sort of treatment, right? And for me, you're not going to get players like Hato, players like Santos playing that well if they're not playing, for one, consistently, and two, you're not putting your arm around them and giving them that confidence. Right. You know what I mean? Like, Rosenior's come in and literally straight away, Santos, we already know he loved him at Strasbourg. So I know Santos, when Santos saw that, he was probably like, no.
Yes, I'm getting my minutes.
Yeah, I'm getting my minutes. I'm getting some of mine, right? But then Hato, look at the difference with Hato's performances now. Yeah? Like, he made a mistake in Baku that time. We didn't see this guy for time, Mel.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
He had a bad game against West Ham. Yeah, if this was with Maresca after the bad game against West Ham, to be fair to him, it wasn't even a bad game from him. It was more Garnacho didn't really help him.
It was Garnacho not helping him out, and that pissed me off. So I know this is a tangent, but like, your fullback is 19 years old. He has had a horrific time at adjusting to this league, and you're not tracking. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Like, genuinely. Anyways,
facts. Now you're speaking facts. So Hato, if that was in the old management, we wouldn't have been seeing this guy for time. It would have been over for him. And for me,
he'd been loaned out in January.
Yeah, honestly. And that for me is a really bad way of just managing players, man. You can't. You have to be able to trust your team, trust your squad, and give them that confidence. And on top of that, Mel, when you're playing these guys consistently and you can see that they're not playing well, at least you can go to the sporting directors and say, look, I'm playing these guys. They're clearly not good enough. If you're not playing them, they're going to look at you and say, well, we've got Santos there. You're not playing him.
Yeah.
You've got Hato there. You're not playing him. So it makes it easier to have conversations in the summer because you can clearly see what your team's missing now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I agree fully. And like, specifically with like Hato and Josh and now even Mamadou Sarr, I am really excited to see them because I think they're just going to get more opportunities. And I think, like it's like honesty begets or not honesty, but trust begets trust. If you trust them more, they'll trust you more and they'll trust themselves more. And like, especially for such a young player, like, Josh and Hato and all that, the trust in themselves is almost more important than like how they're playing, because the trust in themselves is what's going to get them playing well. We've seen Josh how many times? Like, I love Josh. I think he's a beautiful, beautiful carrier of the ball, but it's like, how many times have we seen him misplace a pass trying to like break the lines and then he immediately like shuts down? How many times have we seen that? And I think like with this manager, he'll be trusted more. He maybe won't start a big game, but he'll come in the last 15, 20 minutes to hold it down. And I think that really, really helps. And so, yeah, I really love how he has been managing the squad, becoming like almost kind of like friends with them. I don't know. You've seen the clip of like João Pedro doing the interview and he's just like standing in the background, like messing around with him.
Yeah.
I think that stuff is important, right? Like, you want people to want to come to work.
100%.
Like, you want them to buy into what you're telling them, and, you know, maybe being friends with them is the wrong word, but, like, just like, your players knowing that they can come to you and speak to you if they have an issue or, like, if they're struggling with something, I think that's very important.
They can see that he wants the best for them. And he's
Yes.
really trying to tap into their strengths. That's the main thing for me. Like, he's really trying to tap into their strengths. People were saying before, like, oh, is Rosenior going to get respected by the likes of Enzo and that? I said, listen, Rosenior might not have a CV of, you know, being a top manager, but he's going to get respect by getting these guys playing, enjoying their football again. Because they're going to, like you're saying, Mel, every day they're waking up, they're looking forward to training. Every game they go into, they know I'm going to be playing in my comfortable position.
Yes.
Enzo now, yeah. Look at Enzo. Look how often Enzo's getting involved in build-up now. Like, look at this little role we found for him where we're not starting a left winger, and Enzo's the one that's there, cuckoo overlapping. The connections I'm seeing on the pitch, right? João Pedro has now improved. He started to improve his performances. He's looking like a completely different player. Gusto overlapping. Like, these are just so many things where I'm like, the shackles seem to be off these players. They want to play. I'm looking forward to the next game already. I'm 8 days away.
Same.
I'm looking forward to Burnley already. You know what I mean?
I'm so excited, and I'm like, part of me is so like, look, I mean, obviously hindsight is 2020, but I'm like, was Maresca ball like, did it just go stale? Because I fear it did.
It did.
I fear it did.
I kept saying this. It went stale, and he had to change something because I never wanted him to get sacked. I wanted him to fix up. And the things that Rosenior's been doing is the things that I kept saying Maresca needs to do. But he was too caught up in his feelings about what was going on that he couldn't be professional enough to do it. You know what I'm saying? And then big up Saeed. I said, I miss Mel's tantrums on TikTok.
No, none of that. None of that.
Hey, Saeed, I'm trying to get her to come London for that game, man. You know, because you lot still got to come to the bridge. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, Saeed, can you let us know who you're playing this weekend, by the way?
Oh, wait. I think they're only playing 40 games.
How did that happen?
I don't.
How?
Amarim? That guy? Amarim. You want to talk about a manager who stayed well past his due. Oh my God.
My Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. You know what I mean? Those seagulls came around and they took something from your gaff. You know what I mean? They went into your fridge, Saeed, and they took everything out of that fridge, bro. All that banana and rice, it got taken, bro. Yeah. And he says, "Can we speak about your manager calling everyone world class?" That's worrying. Hey, don't worry about Liam, man. Yeah, don't worry about Liam. You need to focus on man like Michael. You know what I mean? Yeah, and getting candy floss, boy, getting in that candy floss cup. That's what you need to worry about, blood. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
Let's talk about a player that Rosenior said is world class yesterday, though. Yeah, and obviously we'll talk about what you thought of the game last night. Because a lot of people, Mel, are taking that for granted. Like, I'm like, yes, listen, it wasn't long ago we were fighting against Lincoln. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't long ago we were struggling against who was it? Cardiff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I don't take these games for granted because Hull are fourth right now in the championship. That's not bad. No. That's not bad.
We very well could be going to that stadium next year in the league.
Yep, 100%. 100%. What have you, before we talk about Neto, yeah, what did you think of the game yesterday? What would you say impressed you? Like, who sort of stood out for you as well? I know you kind of spoke about Sarr. What did you think of Sarr at the back?
I thought he was so good. And I tweeted this out. It's hard for me to sort of find anything good when you're playing against lower teams in the pyramid. Just because, like, you should be railroading these teams, no disrespect to them at all, but like, you know what you need to do when you go there. But I sure can find a whole lot of bad. I can sure find a whole lot of bad. Now, the good things. Mamadou Sarr, excellent. He played a few line-breaking passes where I was like, oh my God, is that Levi Colwill? Oh my God, are you Levi Colwill? Oh my God, I missed you. I thought Hato was really good. My thing about Hato is he will, like, I don't know if he's trying to prove himself or what, but he'll try to do like like how Matisse does, like jinky majinky or something, but then he ends up losing the ball, but then he gets the ball back, and I'm like, well, you just had to do so much more work, and I don't know why you felt like you had to do that, but I think he was good on his one-on-ones. Again, like, not too much work for them. Andre Santos I thought was excellent. I can tell you who I didn't think was excellent.
Ah,
In that
get
first half.
into it. Shirley, I know you're going to talk about Shirley. The
Oh,
ugly duckling.
Shirley. I thought Delap in the first of all, he had 3 assists, which I think that cannot be a real stat, or maybe my eyes just glazed over after what he did in the first half.
That first half he was poor, but he made up for it in the second half. Let's be real. He did make up for it. What's your thoughts on Dillat?
What are you to do? What are you to do? I don't know. I think he's struggling, and I don't know why he's struggling. Like, that miss was just such a perfect encapsulation of what has been going wrong for him. Like, he just cannot seem to get out of his own head and do the basics correctly. And it's that where I'm like, okay, you're not going to get many chances in the league. This should have been like taken by the horns, but he got his 3 assists, and I get that, but I don't know. I just look at him and I'm like, what? Oh God. Maresca won this club 100 million pounds in the summer, and they got him Garnacho and Delap. Like,
I know Dilap hasn't been. Listen, I know Dilap hasn't been good overall, Mel. Yeah, but like, do you think for you it's more of a confidence thing? You know, when you're looking at how he played in the second half, yeah. Because listen, if Dilap played like how he did in the second half, majority of this season, I think most people would like him. They would have a completely different take. Because second half, the way that he brought down the ball for the second goal we scored, went around the defender, and it was literally just a little layoff to Esteval. All he had to do was tap it in there. That is brilliant. And then for the assist that he got for Neto as well, that was perfect. You know, link up play, perfect weight of pass for him to take the shot the way that he did both times, right? Is it more a confidence thing for you, or do you think that the quality we've been seeing from Delap, that's what he is as a player?
I just think maybe it was a step too soon for him, like too quickly coming to Chelsea. But then I'm like, well, he scored like 12 goals for Ipswich. That's honestly in my brain, when you do the conversion math, that's like 20 goals for a top 4 club, you know? So I don't, it might be he's adjusting poorly, and like next season. And that's the thing too. I'm not one to completely write off a player after the first season, just because there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
New expectations. Like, he was fighting to stay up last season in the Prem. Now you're like, no, we need to like finish 3rd or 4th in this league. Like, that's very different expectations. And he was brought in like as the backup to João Pedro, but not really, because João Pedro can do, you know, he's versatile across the front. So maybe it's just like expectations and pressure, and he needs a little bit more time to adjust. The next season will be different, because you're right. That second half was excellent. It was phenomenal. And again, if you're not scoring, you need to be contributing somehow, some way. And he did. And the things that make me, it's not like the misses that upset me. It's like the basics that upset me, because it's his first touch 90% of the time is like a trampoline touch. And you're like, if you can't do this, what are we doing? You know?
And his movement in the box has been poor, to be fair, as well.
Yeah, it's just like basic stuff. And again, I'm not going to write him off after one season, but it's not pleasant watching him sometimes.
You're right. Listen, again, anyone that's crashing it on Delap right now, yeah, like, I can't overly defend him about the first touch and the lack of movement in the box. Like, you lot are fair to have those takes, right? But for me, this is just for me. Where I've been, you know, where I've known about this guy from Man City days, and obviously when he went to Hull, Ipswich, I didn't watch a lot of their games, but I've done my research around him and whatnot. The Delap that I saw in the second half is the Delap that I know, right? And that's where I'm looking at certain things. I'm taking it into account that he got a big injury start of the season, Mel.
Yeah.
Biggest injury of his career. For one, he's barely played with Palmer, similar to Pedro. I know Palmer's been getting more minutes recently, but we haven't really had that person that's been connecting the midfield and the attack. Because Enzo, for me, when he plays with Delap at times, they're still yet to find that connection as well, if that makes sense. Whereas yesterday, what was really good for me to see was every time Neto was getting the ball, because when I talk about Neto as well, yeah, he kept trying to find Delap every time. And for me, that's what we need to do with this guy. We can't just be giving him the ball every 5-10 minutes. We have to try and keep feeding him. You know what I mean? You have to keep feeding this guy. Like, his touch ain't gonna be perfect every time. He's not a João Pedro, but you have to give him the confidence. You have to keep giving him the ball and let him try do something, because that's what Neto did. You know what I mean? That's what Neto did, and it worked. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna write him off here, because I want to see him get more confidence, and I want to see the team learn how to play with him more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I agree with that. But my concern stems from, like, I just don't trust his ownership group anymore. I don't trust the recruitment anymore. I'm very traumatized. But I'm looking at it now and I'm like, this is a team full of, like, very suave, very, like, Jogo Bonito players, and he is the epitome of his father, like a rumble tumble, like, no flair whatsoever. And then is it like that disconnect in the way, like, an Enzo plays and a João Pedro plays and a Cole plays? These are, like, very easy on the eye. You love to watch them play because of how they play. And don't get me wrong, I love a rumble tumble, but maybe it's those two very conflicting profile or, like, styles, I guess you would say, that's causing this disconnect. Maybe that's contributing to it. But
don't you think it's good to have a different profile, though?
For
Like,
sure.
not to always have a João Pedro.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm just saying, like, is it possible for them to form that connection because it's so polar opposite? And there is an argument to be made, like, in college football, in American football, there's a term called complementary football, and it's like you need to play differently to play together in a way.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
team.
Mhm.
And there's an argument to be made that can happen. They just have to find the switch.
They have to. The thing about strikers like Delap, strikers like Haaland, and again, I'm not saying Delap is anywhere near Haaland, right? But these sort of strikers, they need a volume of chances, bro.
Yeah.
Like, Haaland doesn't just get one chance and that's it. He scores. He gets a lot. You know what I mean? He gets a lot, and he misses chances too. They all miss these chances, right?
Yeah.
These sort of strikers, I'm sorry, people that expect him to be a João Pedro and that, you're just not understanding the game. He's never going to be a João Pedro on the ball. It's never going to happen.
And João Pedro is never going to be him. It's
Exactly.
never going to be him. He's never going to be, like, shoving, pushing, like, he's never going to be that. And that's okay.
And that's okay. You need different profiles. And that's why I'm saying, for me, I just want this team to be consistently letting man get a feel of the ball, right? And consistently playing centrally. Because what I really like about Rosenior now, Mel, is our build-up play. It focuses on central penetration.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Central penetration, right? And long term, I think that will help the likes of Delap. Because I'm telling you, Mel, I see Delap making a lot of runs in behind. No one finds him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No one finds him. And that's where I'm looking at Rosenior to say, yo, Enzo, when you get the ball, try find Liam. Yeah. Yo, Palmer, when you get the ball, look for Liam's run. Yeah. Like how João Pedro ran in behind against who was it we played? Leeds the other day. Mm-hmm. They're the sort of goals I want to be seeing Delap scoring. But at the minute, apart from Neto, I'm yet to really see anyone consistently play him. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm still trying to, I'm not selling my stocks as of yet. You know what I mean? And we've got nearly over 200 people here. As TTM says, make sure that you lot are smash up the lights. Make sure that you're following Mel, as always, people. But let's talk about Neto. You know, let's talk about Neto. He's another polarizing guy. We've got a few of them in our team, Mel.
Yeah.
And recently, I've been seeing a lot of people saying get rid of him. There was a few rumors about, in the summer, potentially we might be open to offers. What's your take on Neto, first of all, before we even talk about last night? What's your take on this guy, man?
Okay, when we first signed him, I was so excited. It was the day before my birthday. I was getting on a plane to Mallorca. The news broke. I literally screamed in the middle of Gatwick Airport. I was so excited about it. And he was, like, I loved him in that first season. And then, how long has he been? 3 seasons now? This is 3rd season?
3rd season, yeah. He came after Watch. So you would have joined with Maresca.
Okay. And the thing about Neto, again, he's one of those suave players. He's never going to be like this crazy GNA, output machine. And I understood that. And I think we have sort of played him into the ground now, because I don't think he's enjoying his football that much. The body language, and when he doesn't get a pass or when like someone's not on the same wavelength as him, I the frustration is palpable. Um, and I just think like the way we've played him so much, or at least under Maresca, I think he's gotten a little bit more rest now under Rosenior. I just think he's a little burnt out in a
Mm,
way. I don't know. And the thing I've always said, right? He's a kind of on the older side of the squad. He is going to be such a great wing back for Napoli in like 2 years. And that is the nicest thing I can say about him right now because watching him is just so frustrating. Like him
he
and
is limited.
just like, why? What did I do to deserve this?
He is quite limited, yeah. But the question that I've got for you is: in the summer, would you want to keep him as a squad player, or would you sell him?
I think the bigger question is would he even want to stay? Like that's where I think we're head and I could just be like catastrophizing, I don't know, but like I would want to keep him because I think it's good for Esteval to have someone like him. And don't get me wrong, for all his limitations, he is fast. He is a very, very fast boy.
Mhm.
And um I don't know. I would like to keep him, but if we get to the summer and he wants to leave, like would I be that upset about it? No, I'd be more upset that I don't trust the board to find a competent replacement for him.
Exactly, and that's what worries me, Mel. That is exactly what worries me right there because I'm telling you, yeah, the likes of Quenda and these guys, I've got more time for them long term, right?
Mhm.
But I'm sorry, there has to be an, a more logical transition getting Neto out of the club.
Yep.
Because the moment you get him out, you're taking away experience. You're
Mhm.
taking away a guy who can actually contribute in cup games like today,
Yep.
like yesterday, sorry. A guy that can come off the bench and help us at wing back if needs be.
Mhm.
Left or right, he can do a job. He
Mhm.
works. He's usually available. Yeah. Certain games he can start. You know what I mean? And with better players in the squad, he ain't got to play 90 minutes. Right.
Right.
So for me, I'm just looking at it where a lot of people now have kind of made Neto this kind of scapegoat where it's like he's completely useless. And I'm like, listen,
Um,
he's not like he's limited. I agree with that. He's a limited footballer, but he can still offer things in this squad, right? He can still be a useful, important player in the squad. And we don't need to be seeing this guy starting week in, week out. And like
Mhm.
I've already said, with the likes of Esteval, the likes of Quenda, even if he does start a game in the Prem against lesser opposition and he's not playing well, you take man off. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You take man off. And the Baz is saying, Don, you've been cooking Neto all season. I haven't been cooking Neto all season, actually, because start of the season, he actually started off quite well. And then he's had a little drop off where I've been crashing him, but I've not once said sell him. You know, my take on him, Bazar, is he's a squad player at best. You know what I'm saying? He's a squad player at best. And down the middle, Mel, you know, yesterday, I don't know who that player was.
Me neither.
What did you think of Neto centrally yesterday? Because he was, that was his best performance at Chelsea top for me.
I agree. And again, I don't know if it's the positional switch or if it was the opposition, but why not try it out in the league? Try it out against Burnley. They just came up. I would love to see more of that. One, I want our players to enjoy their football, so I want him to fall in love with it again. Or I mean, if he is feeling, upset about it. But like I'm all for trying new things. If he's not productive on the right, we've put him on the left. If he's not productive on the left and is just spamming crosses to nobody, what do you do? You put him in the middle. And I think, it could be a stroke of genius if it works. It's sort of like when under Poch, I think it was like the end of March, beginning of April, and we went on that crazy run. And it was because he just inverted Kukurea. And I was like,
Yep.
was the key to the season just putting Kukurea in the midfield? Crazy. So maybe it is a stroke of genius. I don't know. I think it would be really interesting to see in the league, I think.
Yeah. What would you say you liked about his game centrally? Because it seemed like things seemed a bit easier for him, just a little bit more natural. You know what I mean? He seemed like a completely different player, Mel. Let's be honest. What did you like about his game in there?
It's almost like the more space he has, the worse he play or like the worse the decision making is. I don't know. And, when you're playing against a back three, back five, whatever you want to call it, you're not going to have much space. And so him in the middle, I was like, how are you playing this well? I don't like You know what I mean? And so I think it was just obviously like the goal for the, I guess it was an Olympico, the corner goal.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
I think also maybe his box presence is a little bit better in the 10, and he just he like okay, again, one of my gripes with our players, no one shoots enough, and so maybe him being centrally allowed him the just starting position to shoot,
Yeah.
because sometimes you
Mhm.
just gotta let it rip. And I don't think coming off from the side he does that, or feel like he has a like enough space, or like positionally. I don't know. I've never played football at any level, so like I just don't know. But it worked. I don't know if it was the opposition or if it was the position. I don't know.
Yeah, I think on the wing, what it is with him, Mel, yeah, is like Neto's a weird one because he's got the pace and the power, and he's got steps. He knows how to do the steps and run.
Mhm.
But on the outside, he's very much. You're right. Like he'll see space, yeah, because there's times where I'm at the bridge. I'll see there's so much space in front of him. He doesn't want to use that space. He'd rather do the. You know the ones. He'll do the jink. He'll do that. Go to someone else. Whereas when he's down the middle, because he's such a busy B-Mel, right? He gets the ball, he links up with someone like a Delap, and he moves. And that makes it so hard for any of the midfielders in there to know what he's about to do because he's so good at just that quick twitch movement. You know what I'm saying? Left, right, they don't know what way he's gonna go. And to be fair to him, I've always said Neto is a very good ball striker. We just don't see it enough because he doesn't create a lot of separation for himself.
Yes.
But when he's down the middle, Mel, when he's central
Mhm.
and he's got that space, he can pick out left, right, down the middle. The first goal he scored was on the right. The second goal he scored was on the left. You know what I'm saying? So it's just better. The angles to shoot are a lot better because you're bang down the middle of the goal.
Yep.
Whereas when you're on the right,
Yeah.
you gotta try and bend it like a Robin or bend it like a Gareth Bell
You
or
have
like
to find the angle.
find the angle, which he doesn't have the ability to consistently do. Whereas down the middle, it actually makes his game, it simplifies his game. It opens up the game for him a lot more. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's more
So
like head on than like I have to do, so maybe that
yeah,
you could be very right. You could be
yeah,
very
yeah,
right.
yeah. Even the other day against who did we play? Wolves, right? The goal that we scored for Cuckoo, when Cuckoo cut it back to
Yes.
Palmer for the third goal.
Mhm.
It was Neto who dropped central, picked it up in the middle, and then he went left. You know what I mean? So I just feel like down the middle might be a place to sort of tap into going forward, I would say.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to not start Shirley on the left and you want to play Enzo in that position, and you want to still start Palmer, for example, Neto might be better down, more centrally. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think he adds that dynamism. He adds a bit of ball carrying that we haven't really got centrally, if that makes sense. We haven't really got a real ball carrier down the middle.
That's a very good point. That's a very, very good point. And again, going back to Rosenior, I love, like, he probably saw that in the Leeds match and was like, we have Hull at the weekend. Why not try it out? And so I love that. I love just you can't with Maresca, you can't. It doesn't matter if you're playing good football for 3 months when after 3 months they're gonna figure out your tactics, and so you always got to keep something like an ace in your pocket or whatever the saying is. I don't know.
Mhm. It's not so much taking the 10 away from Palmer. It's
I
more
was
just
just about to say.
go, Mel, go.
No, it's not about taking it away from Palmer. It's just about having options when, like, Cole hasn't been up to speed. Cole can also play on the right. Cole can play in the 10. Cole can't play 90 minutes week in, week out. So you need to have options there, and Neto, for better or for worse, has been fit. I don't know. I am willing to try it because there isn't just one way for a player to play, especially like
100%. 100%. And listen, you're spot on when you say this. I was literally, the point I was about to make, Fabian. Yeah, big yourself up. It says the attackers need to be willing to interchange. Players anchored to certain positions is part of the problem. You're spot on. This is exactly why we came back against West Ham, because the players, Neto was left wing 1 minute. Next minute, I'm seeing him on the right. Next minute, I'm seeing him down the middle, right? These are the rotations that we see at PSG, Mel. With Due, Dembele, with Kvaratskhelia. Those guys consistently move positions.
fluidity. You can't be static. The static football, that's not a thing anymore. Like, you
Exactly.
can play that way. It's the thing with Arsenal, why their attack is so just fucking, it's so bad on the eyes. they can't do more than one thing because again, they're overcoached. I think, not to talk about Arsenal, but
Yeah.
just a comparison, like you cannot have static players. You need to be a little bit more fluid and
Yeah.
willing to like, you know, it so I agree fully. I agree fully.
100%. And just in terms of like right now, obviously we're scoring a lot of goals, yeah. We're still leaking silly goals at the moment. What would you say that's down to in terms of these sort of goals that we're conceding?
I think if I knew the answer to that question, I would be a very rich woman. Um, no, I think sometimes you get like a freak goal, like that Bowen goal. How do you know where that's going? Like Sanchez is anticipating like the player just getting on it, but
Yeah.
it just does this curly curl thing. I think this is the reason why Liam is having these meetings because why are you doing those things? Like, what are you doing? Caicedo, I'm not going to get too much on him because this is a player who is burning himself out for this club. But it's like, it's that moment. Um, like every time that you're coming into a challenge from behind the runner into the box, you're giving the referee a decision to make, and you are never getting the benefit of the doubt there. Like, you need to know that. But then the second goal, it's like, why aren't you clearing the ball? Like, you think the ref is going to blow the whistle? Just clear. Like, it's heads not being screwed on for literally 10 seconds that are causing us to drop 17 points from winning positions. Like, and is that them being inexperienced or too young? I don't know. I honestly,
Yeah, what is it for you? Is it an experience thing for you? Because I hear this a lot all the time, yeah? Or
but
is
it's,
it more a quality thing? What would you say?
okay, that's actually a great question. With people like Tosin and Chalaba, I think they are experienced, but I think it's a quality issue. With players like a Josh or a my mind is blanking. I don't know. It's the inexperience at
Yeah.
that level. And so like you're just and also I think the chopping and the changing of the back line constantly is is so detrimental to what your defense needs to be in order to not leak goals. Um, I am of the belief that your defense and your goalkeeper, that has to be the most like consistent. I said this last time. The consistent in terms of just like who's there. And we don't have that because it's I keep bringing up Arsenal and they're gonna love this. Ugh. But like with Saliba and Gabriel, one already knows what the other is doing before they even think about it.
Yeah.
And the only reason they have that is because they played so many games together and because they just have a incredible talent, right? And so I think the Levi injury was catastrophic to this team. I think Josh not getting enough minutes just prior to the season is horrible. I think Tosin starting out the season was a terrible decision because Tosin is great for the dressing room. I don't need to see him on the pitch. I'm sorry. Chalaba seems
Only
to
the cup
play
games. Only
up
the
and
cup games.
down to the level of who's playing beside him because Chalaba playing next to Wesley Fofana and Chalaba playing next to Tosin, just two completely different people.
Night and day. Yep.
I really couldn't tell you other than I love Reese on the right and I love Kukurea on the left. That's it.
Yeah, you've touched up on some good points, and I'm glad that you actually separated the two things, right? In terms of the experience, Tosin and Chalobah have experience, but they're not good enough long term to be starting.
Especially
and
together.
and especially together, that is cramp twins. I call them the cramp twins. Yeah, and then you've got you said about Josh. That is spot on. Josh, some of these mistakes you're seeing from him, like not clearing the ball, that is down to the inexperience. So two things can be right at once. But what I've been saying to a lot of people, Mel, yeah, because obviously Arsenal right now are top of the league, and they've still got a chance of winning it, right? And I literally came out early on in the season saying, for me, the biggest difference I see between both teams is our centre backs. You know what I'm saying? And they tried to crash me for it, saying, "Oh, what? That's the only difference, yeah? Why are we so many points above you?" Go back to the point that you made, Mel,
because
about the drop points.
they don't give up stupid ass goals like ours do.
They don't give up stupid goals. I can go through so many games. This season, one thing about this season, yeah, is Chelsea have scored first in a lot of games, which is why we've dropped a lot of points, right? With Saliba Gabriel against Leeds, 2 goals up. Shut off shop.
That's not
It's done.
happening.
It's not happening.
No.
Yeah. It's
Like,
not happening. I know our left wing, our left hand side is bad, people. Yes, and you could argue Trossard would start on our left hand side. I'm not arguing against that, right? I'm just saying that this season, even with our attack when it went stale in certain games, right? There was so many times where our defense, our centre backs, they have a moment of madness and something silly happens, or it would get a red card. You know what I mean? Or the in-game management's not good enough, right? We're bringing on Gusto in the midfield against Atalanta in an 8 instead of bringing on a Santos, for example. Yeah, these are all different things that were, letting down this team. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm looking at the quality Mel first, because Sar's young, but he's fucking quality. You know what I'm saying? He's a quality player. So when you start to bring more quality, especially through the team, naturally you're going to be winning more games. It's as simple as that. Because we're scoring goals at the minute, Mel. You know, why do you think we're scoring so many goals at the moment?
Why do I think we're scoring so many goals? I just think João Pedro has found his form, and I think that really has to do with what I said earlier. No one's being overcoached. Cole is coming back into the team. I think they're like linking up him and Cole. We saw it in the Club World Cup, like instantaneous chemistry that João Pedro hasn't been able to replicate with anybody else. And so, yeah, and that for sure, I think Esteval has just been a revelation. And going back to the goals that we concede, every time we concede, I'm like, do we concede a normal goal? Like, why is it I've never seen teams concede the goals that we concede. I think someone made a comp the other day and I watched it and I was like, I can't, this is triggering. Like, this is
I saw it.
Killing
I saw
me.
it. And then you get people like this, that say Rosenior sacrificed our defense for attack. Mel, how many goals can you think of that's been Rosenior's fault this season? Like, so far?
Like, he can't go out there and tell them, hey, don't lose your mind. Like, what? I don't get it. I think the last quality goal we conceded legitimately was that Paquetá goal in the first West Ham game at the very beginning of the season that you just have to hold your hands up and be like, that's a great goal. Every other goal has just been stupidity. Pure and utter stupidity. Like, what? Oh,
it's just been silly goals, and that's why I'm looking at people, because people need to remember, like, bro, like you need goals in the team to be consistently winning games, right? You can have an elite defense, but if you ain't got goals in the team, it's not sustainable. And this is one of the main reasons why Arsenal haven't even been able to run away from Man City yet, because their attack is up and down. Yeah, their attack is up and down. Just because you've got
down. It's not up. It's down. If it's not a set piece, it's Gyökeres running around in his Timbs. Like, it's just
it's not a good style to really be watching, man. And that's where I'm telling you, man, the gap up there, Mel, is really not difficult to close, man. It's really not
like this.
You know what I mean?
Literally like this.
How do we close the gap? Just to finish up, how do we actually close that gap?
First of all, hiring better people up where they make the decisions. You know what I mean? Because this season didn't have to go the way it did. The way the past summer should have just been, you buy 1 or 2 heavy hitters in the attacking positions. We know we needed a left wing. We know we needed a striker. Those 2 positions, I'm not even talking like world-class crazy names, just established players who you can plug and play. This season looks very different. And I don't trust the board to do that this summer, because what have you shown me that would make me trust you that you would be able to do that? And I don't. Like, this season could have been so much different if they had just given Enzo Maresca a left winger and a striker. Maybe the managerial change would have happened anyways, but you're right. The gap is this big.
It's so small. And then you get people like this, it says, Don, you say the gap isn't small, but you haven't beaten Arsenal since 2018 in the league. Bro, Man City used to win the league consistently, but they never used to go to Anfield and always win over there. You know what I mean? It's all about over 38 games. Who's going to be more consistent over 38 games? And we are inconsistent because we're just lacking quality in certain areas. We're lacking experience in certain areas. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. But what I really like, Mel, is like Fofana. very, very key for this team. You know what I mean? I know he had a little bit of a drop off the past few weeks, but he's picked it up again. And he's actually been able to stay fit. Touch wood, yeah? He's been able to stay fit for a while.
For sure. And him and Lavia, like, again, this season could have been so different. Fofana, I really like. The talent has always been there. It is literally just the fitness. And he's not like Reece, where I think Reece is just a freak of nature, where he's out for 4 months, he comes back, no adjustment period needed, no rust on anything. So I think we have to be very patient with Fofana and his like the up and down of his form. Maybe when is the last time he strung together like 4 or 5 90 minutes, or or like 4 or 5 starts in a row? I think you have to be very patient and recognize like this guy's talent is not a fluke. This guy's talent is real. It's just his worst issue is his body hates him the same way Reece's hated him, and the same way Lavia's hamstrings hate him. And so I think the key is patience and understanding, like, as these players come back into fitness, it's going to be a little up and down, and it's okay. Like, I don't agree with selling him just because I think when everyone's fit, he's probably like him and Levi are CB 1 and 2 in my opinion.
Yes, 100%, bro. This is a crazy take from you. You know, we need to sell now, man. If he was still getting mad injured this season, I would say, yeah, cool, okay. Like, I think maybe it's time to give up. But I'm sorry, man. Fofana, he's just a player that's been let down by injuries. Yeah,
and that's it.
Injuries. His quality. He is. Yesterday, some of the, because people think Fofana ain't got tech. I don't know if you noticed some of the times he was bringing the ball down in the air, Mel. Yeah, I'm like, yo, that's serious,
And the way he runs with the ball, it's just so like piercing. It's so noticeable. It's like when it's him and Josh are sort of similar in that way. The way they carry the ball when they run, it's so beautiful to see. And also, like, was it I think in the West Ham game,
West Ham assist, the assist,
the West Ham assist, he literally, like, from one end of the pitch, just starts sprinting down the field and just plays this insane curling ball. And you need that. That to me is when, like, that's a sign to me that these players aren't being overcoached, because under Maresca, that never happens. Those center backs are not getting up that high.
100%. So anyone that's saying to sell Fofana right now, I'm sorry, especially after he's been able to maintain fitness for now, we just have to hope that he turns into a Neto and he's always available as well. Fofana, he is a top talent, man. He's a top talent. But yeah, man, it's crazy right now, Mel. 4 goals yesterday. We scored 2 against Leeds. We should have scored even more. Palmer, the miss. The miss was mad.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying? The miss was crazy. I was going to say Lavia, sell Lavia. Yo, listen, Lavia, what's your take on Lavia, Mel? Like, because he's still in, he's got this, what they called it? They called it like his own individual plan, innit?
Yeah, he's on an individual education plan, an EIP or IEP. I think you have to keep him, because there's a reason why Southampton bought this man. 3 games later, Todd Bowley's on the phone with Southampton being like, I need this player. There's a reason why. The talent is there. This kid racked up the most minutes. I think it was in the U21s or something in the world.
The 20s. Yeah, in the Prem. He had the most minutes before he joined us, yeah.
Exactly. And so we're suffering the consequences, but I don't think you give up on a player like that. This is not a random scrub in your team who just happens to be injured all the time. This is a ceiling raiser, floor raiser. Like, I categorize players into ceiling raisers and floor raisers. He is both. He is a unicorn. Yeah. He is both. You need both. Seeing him just like spin players and spin out of challenges, keep the ball, protect the ball, because that's another thing. That's another reason why we're conceding all these stupid ass goals. No one knows how to protect the football like a Romeo Lavia. And I think that is worth it. Okay, in another season or 2, if he can't get the fitness under control, you might have to cut your losses. I don't know. I don't make those decisions, but I just think it's so silly because to me, it's like, I didn't give up on Reece James. It would be like giving up on Reece. This is the level of talent we're talking about in the center of the pitch. And if you want to be a top contending team, you need to have like talent for talent in terms of like replacements for a
Yeah,
Caicedo.
yeah, 100%,
Because the
100%.
drop
And that's the
off,
thing.
it can't go from here to here. It
Yeah,
needs it needs to be on par with each other, and that's rare. And so I
yeah.
think we keep him. We keep him.
Yeah, I definitely would keep him, but I would still add an additional midfielder. Yeah, like obviously Asugo was meant to be the guy as backup for Caicedo, but I think in the summer it would make sense to bring someone else in, Mel. Yeah,
Mhm.
because of injuries, because of the amount of games we've got playing. If you want to play a three-man midfield, you need more midfielders on the bench.
Yeah,
You need
that's just math.
that's just maths. You know what I mean? That's just maths. And obviously now I don't know why certain managers are scared to use their five subs. Yeah. Me, I will be listen when I'm playing FIFA, I use my five subs every game.
As you should. As you
Yeah,
should.
you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I think some people are saying bring in Barco. Ads, just another thing that I wanted to bring up here. You said about Fofana. Should we revisit all the mistakes, the howlers, the poor mistakes in games in a period when he can't start multiple games in a row? Bro, you can talk about some of the sleeping in the box. But I can also talk to you about how when he came into the lineup, we literally kept, what was it, five clean sheets in a row. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Every time we've played Arsenal this season, he has been class.
Yep.
Yeah. Apart from the moment where he let Marino run off of him when we played Arsenal at the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rest of that game, we don't win that game. We don't draw that game even, yeah, without Fofana. If it was tossing instead of Fofana in that game, ads, we lose. We lose that game.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So I think people are overdoing this thing about Fofana, man. I think he had a little bit of a drop off like recently, but he's picked it up again. He's been good again, man.
Again, I think that's
Yeah.
natural. Just like how long he's been out and how many times he's been out, the rust
Yeah.
needs to come off. And it's progress is not linear. It's going to be up and down. He'll be fine.
Mhm.
Center back wise, Wesley Fofana is the least of my concerns. There's like 3 people ahead of him that need to go.
What's your thoughts on Caicedo actually before we finish? Because he's had a bit of a, last week he was getting crashed, and he has had a bit of a drop off to be fair. But yesterday I thought he was amazing.
My thoughts on Caicedo is if there's one player in this team who has earned the right to get some slack cut for him, it's Moises Caicedo. Like the last 2 years, the man has been working, running himself into the ground. No one to like come on for him for literally 2 years. I think if he has 3 weeks when he just can't get it together, I'm sorry, this is the best midfielder in the Prem, and the best midfielder in the Prem doesn't get a break. And this is a guy who runs into challenges full steam ahead, gives 100%. I'm sorry, but if he has a bad week or two, I'm not upset at him. I'm upset at everyone else for not being able to help their teammate.
I think with Caicedo, I think the criticism warranted. Like he definitely has, slightly dropped off. I said the other day for me, Mel, yeah, like one reason why you're seeing Caicedo not being as influential in games is because he's got a partner next to him who's helping him build up now. It's not every time we're trying to get the ball in through the middle, it's Caicedo. It's now Sanchez as well. You know what I mean? So naturally, you're seeing him less on the ball. But what I've noticed now, Mel, yeah, I don't know if you've noticed it, even yesterday, he was playing more like an 8 yesterday. Yeah, he was playing more box to box.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the role.
Yeah.
That's the role I want to see from him. He created a very good chance for Shirley. Shirley should have bagged that. Yeah.
Surely.
Shirley should have bagged that, man. But yeah, I think Caicedo yesterday was the Caicedo that I know, man. He was excellent. Some of the weight of passes from that guy, yeah, just even the first goal we scored, he played the ball to Delap. He's the one that played the ball to Delap. Delap found Neto and then we scored. So yeah, we just need to hope Asugo can come back soon.
Yeah, and I think the fact that it's 2 weeks in a row, like you were saying, you can't wait for us to play. It's another 8 days until we play Burnley, but then after that, our next match is in another 8 days. And these guys haven't had that since what, like October or something, or since the last international break. So I think that will certainly help with just like fitness and not being overtired. But also, Rosenior, I don't even think has had an actual training session where he's like, you know what I mean? Like, so maybe that'll help with the defensive mistakes too.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact
100%.
that we get 8 days off or 8 days no game, Great.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, man. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that these guys can get that rest, man. Because yeah, honestly, Caicedo and Enzo are literally like, if you had a bar of soap, Mel, there'll be like a little bit of soap left.
Oh, it's like a little nub. It's just nothing
Yeah.
left. And speaking of Man United fans, Saeed, if you're still here, it's so funny that like we have so many midweek games and we, play well. The first time you have a midweek game in God knows how long, you end up drawing to West Ham by the skin of your teeth. Let's talk about that, Saeed.
You know, like that. The first time that they've had to face a real low block, they couldn't break it down, Mel. I'm seeing they had 2 shots or something like that. TTM, let me know if I'm wrong about that, but I had your game in the background, and Disasi was doing his thing. If it weren't for Sesko, that mad finish, you would have lost that game, bro. They would have lost. You know what I'm saying?
Axel disaster at the scene of the crime again.
Oh, yeah, well, that's harsh, Mel. Come on. That was harsh. That finish, you couldn't do anything about that finish.
No, I don't even know how that went in. Like, I was looking at it, I was like, what?
That was mad. Like, I think even in Waymo messed up the cross, and then Sesko like scooped it from the ground up. It was mad.
Yeah, great finish.
Brilliant finish. Big up 10. If we genuinely invest well this summer, we can actually compete. This summer, if these owners and sporting directors do some stupid shit again, just wrap up the project.
Agreed.
And that's what we said earlier. That's literally what we said earlier. It's like, it's on them now. It's on them now because the league is literally right there, man. The only starter we brought in the summer was João Pedro. You know what I'm saying? And we can't be going into next season. It's the same problem again. You know what I mean? But we'll finish up there, people. Right on, was it an hour? I've done over an hour now, people. Over 200 people here. Make sure that you lot are smash up the lights. Mel, anything to plug? Anything you got coming up?
No, just the talk and the Twitter. Follow me on there. And yeah, it was great chatting with you. I love chatting with you, Don. And yeah, hopefully solidified top 4 finish. No nonsense. Villa are slipping. We can get ahead of Man United. So like 3rd is very much there. I'm eyeing
100%. And just one last thing, actually, because you mentioned about getting top 4. We've got obviously these games coming up, like the Newcastles, the Villas, obviously the Arsenal away. We've got like the United, the Brightons. How are you feeling about that set of games? Are you more concerned about them, or would you say you're less concerned?
Honestly, less concerned, just because those games are going to be more open, probably. And that allows our attackers just to have so much more free reign, like a João Pedro, Cole Palmer in space. God, I love it. Esteban in space. So it's the attack, honestly, isn't even it's so crazy how things have shifted, right? The attack isn't my concern anymore. It's just those bozos in the back.
Yeah, you're right. You're spot on. And that's what I said as well, Mel. I said, for me, the biggest challenge Rosenior is going to have is breaking down these low blocks he's got first. Because man are looking at the games. Oh yeah, Leeds, Burnley, Wolves. You got to win them. You're right. You've got to win them. But Maresco is struggling to break down these teams at times.
Yeah. And that's why yesterday, like, as much as I don't like to put too much stock into those matches, when is the last time we just like fully just trounced a team, like a low block team?
Someone's getting smashed. Someone is getting smashed. I'm telling you, someone is about to get smashed. Yeah, because I'm telling you,
cash in now.
Hey, Leeds. How did we only score 2 goals against Leeds? Yeah, someone is getting battered. I'm telling you, someone's gonna hold it, and that might be Burnley. That might actually be Burnley.
I'm sorry,
I'm wrong. But yeah, man. Against Burnley, I want to see minimum 3 goals. I want to see minimum 3 goals, man. I'm predicting high scoring results now when I'm predicting Chelsea games. That wasn't happening before. That was not happening before. Yeah,
we're like in these rumble and tumble matches with Ipswich and Leeds and stuff like that with Maresca. And as much as I loved him, he could not break down a low block to save his life. And I think Rosenior has done a great job at this so far. So I can't wait to see him with a little bit more space.
Yeah, 100%, people. So make sure that you're following Mel. Make sure that you lot are checking out the sponsor, as I said before, Jersey FC Soccer Shop, Don CFC at checkout, people. When's our next bit of content? I think Monday. We should be back for Blue Diaries. I potentially got up pit stop tomorrow, people. I'm just trying to find out Jermaine George's availability. Roms should be about as well, so we'll see if we'll go live. Me and Jem might be cooking something up tomorrow as well, people. So look out for that one. But Monday we'll be back for Blue Diaries. And yeah, we'll see where the week takes us. Because like Mel said, we've got that little break. You know what I mean? I might have to see where I can go in Europe right now. I like to take little trips during these little periods, man. You know what I'm saying? But we'll finish up there. Big up the chat. Big up Mel every single time. And until the next one, people. Bless. Love.